Hello fans of Moshpit Passion, my name is Kayo, right next to me Tatiana and Eugene of JinJer. And today is a special day for this band because they released their new EP, Micro, and it's also the start of the new tour. Maybe you can give us a small insight of your inner self. How do you feel?
Well, the first show is always really a difficult thing, I think, for every musician, because you wake up from the from coma, you know? Yeah, and it's really difficult to shake yourself up.
Yeah.
So the very first show in Oberhausen was good, playing wise. Yeah, but I think next ones will be better.
At least we'll ourselves will feel better because comfortable. That's what the problem is, that you know how to play and you know what to play and you play it well, but you don't know where to go.
Yeah.
It's not your home, it's not a rehearsal room, it's the stage, and you just play, and then there is an idea inside your head, like where to go. Shall I stay here? No, move left. Yeah, now you look good. You can't stand there for the whole show and move somewhere else, and it's difficult.
Yeah, but the crowd they liked it. Someone was throwing a beer over me, so my whole shirt and hoodie, definitely was completely wet. So yeah, somewhere.
Because from our point of view, that was completely different. Like people were still
you were standing in the middle, I thought, but it was more on the side of the stage. There was some who were don't moshing, but about
some of them
hitting
did
people.
Yeah.
So it was pretty intense.
Yeah, now I feel better.
And also your new songs, they were pretty sick live, I have to say that. I listened to your record, I will later talk about that, but we met already the first time this summer on the Dong open air.
Yeah,
it was on the top of this kind of hill. And I personally think if I look at JinJer now, a lot of things happened about you, that you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because during the time from then and now, I did many interviews and saw many interviews of bands, and they said, yeah, JinJer, they're good, they're the next big thing. For instance, OTEP, she's a singer, she's a solo singer.
Yeah, we know.
She gave you very good credits, and also Bad Wolfes. It is the drummer of Devil Driver. In there, and Devil Driver, your manager, is the frontman of it, and everybody's looking. Yeah, JinJer, they're from Ukraine, they know it, they know about the history, and give you a little bit also credits. Do you think it also that you gained more attention over the last 6 months?
Well, I don't think it's only because of the last 6 months. It's just the thing is that in this industry you get the results of your work not straight after you do something, but after some time. So it's like a wave which chase you, and it actually runs over you much further. So some kind of this.
Would you agree that also the people, the press and the fans getting more and more the vision of JinJer? For instance, I saw in the last time many interviews with you, and at the beginning of your career everybody was asking about this term female fronted. I know that you're getting not mad about it, about sick, you explained, no, this way. And I personally think, like I mentioned before, over the last years, the press, they're getting it. Is it? Yeah, right. It's not about that term and everything like that. Would you agree that the people understand the vision of your band?
I hope they understand, because we explained many times that that's not about sex. That's not about the gender of a singer who is in front of you singing, And once again, JinJer from the beginning was the male-fronted band, and nothing really changed, And I hope if someday if I someday leave the band and they get male on the vocals, I'm sure the things will be as good as they are now, you know, or even better, or I don't know.
Mm.
It doesn't depend on sex.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just getting back to the question,
Mm.
I do think that well, yeah, we got bigger and just more people know about us, and of course interviewers and bloggers, and they already have this JinJer background when they come to us and do interviews. That's why they don't need to ask about this anymore, because it's well known.
Yeah.
Some kind of this. Yeah.
Definitely, it's a good development over the years. And yeah, let's talk about your new record again. I like the visual appearance, art of it. Can you explain us what can we see on there? I know it's also shown in the Ape video, but it's just a white background with black, I don't know, points or what it is. What is the concept behind that?
Yeah, there is a concept, a certain concept. The whole micro is about concentrating on small in a big, you know, in huge. Like micro is actually a microverse. So you can see big things and small things, and small things and big things, you know, blah blah blah. So those visual effects and the cover, actually the cover of Micro is microscopic photo. Yeah, it's like image of.
Yeah, I have seen the real pictures taken by an electronic microscope, and it's exactly what we have on the cover. Yeah. This is how a picture of a microscopic electronic microscope looks like exactly.
Nice, definitely a cool idea, and also the concept.
Well, yeah, it comes from an art designer, artist from New York. His name is Riley Schmitz, and he's absolutely talented. Yeah, I really love that we collaborated with him, and his artwork is on this record.
Nice. Yeah, let's stick to the song Ape. And also about the lyrics. I don't know if am I right, but I interpret the song like exactly the first phrase of it. It's a view of some kind of god or creator who's talking about the evolution of a primitive life form, which is the ape. About it, am I right? Or is there something also a deeper meaning behind that? That is a metaphor about, I don't know, the politics, for instance, or
no, not politics. It's all about evolution. Of evolution, and that's a socially oriented song. Yeah, the story comes from Mother Nature, actually. So she tells to others, or I don't know, like, look at you, son. What have you done? Yeah. Like, what have you turned to? You know, and
this is not what she intended to build, actually.
Yes. So I made a mistake creating you. So you were supposed to be like a higher,
human.
Yeah.
Humans, but you turned to be just humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are about to destroy yourself and the environment you are living in. So.
Yeah. And the next song, Dreadful Moments, I also interpreted just the first phrase. It's a child which is afraid about that the father is coming and she's crying for help. She's actually crying, mother, please help me, which we are singing. Is there also a deeper meaning, or is it something personal?
I cannot, it's not personal experience, but this song has, I mean, everything is on surface. And writing lyrics, I just wanted to be these lyrics to be very, very direct. And there is no, I mean, inverted meaning, hidden meaning. It's just about child abuse. Unfortunately, this is not my personal experience, but as I've said in previous interviews, it's just something I've seen as an observer from a side. because it happened a lot to children who were with me at school. It still happens in the street in Ukraine. There is a sort of violence cult, and people can be very, very violent, even to children and their own children. And it's just a thing which pisses me off a lot.
Yeah.
And after writing the musical composition, we were looking for the lyrics, and somehow listening to the song, this is what came into my mind. It's such a story when a child is being abused by father, drunk father, and the child is crying for help, but nobody helps, nobody comes to save him or her. And later on in the lyrics, Tatiana says that it's just what we see, then what we have, when it grows. And if a child has this violence and cruelty at the childhood, then people grow up, and who they become mostly. Same cruel and violent people like that father.
And one more thing, when this child grows up, like their parents, they cannot expect love back, you know.
Definitely.
So you should remember that if you abuse your child, so in future, when you are old and incapable of doing anything, your children probably will not take care of your...
Can you tell us a bit about the songwriting process? I remember when we talked in summer about it, you said that the instrumental parts were more or less ready, and then they gave it to you and you wrote the lyrics, but you felt maybe some kind of pressure of it to write a new record or an EP, or how was it back then? Do you remember that?
We didn't have real pressure. We are more or less used to writing material in this way, because we made the previous album absolutely in the same way. We were very, very short of time. And this time we just felt like making an album, not because somebody pressed us to do this, and it was our own intention to write new music. We had managers who just told us, you may not try hard, anyway you will not succeed, and you don't really need, you have some hype, you can still tour without new songs, but we just couldn't tour without new songs, and that's why we wanted to write these songs, and that's why there was no pressure, because it was our own intention.
So you toured also last November, October in the US. Can you tell us about how different is it there to tour if you compare it to Europe?
It's absolutely different. It's absolutely different type of touring. These are different. There are different distances, bigger cities. There are many big cities, and it's very expensive also. So money-wise, it's 10 times more difficult.
Wow, that's heavy.
Especially considering this visa expenses and
visa.
Flights there and back. So it's definitely hard. Much harder than here. If we're talking about organizational aspects, it is like that. But talking about concerts themselves, there are people are different.
I think so. I don't know. They are opened. They are ready to. In the States. They are ready to accept something new, which is different from what they usually hear in the States. You know.
I agree. I completely agree. I have to admit that probably the US fans, American fans, are just more open to the new, more open to the new than the European fans.
Definitely.
On the other hand, I have to say that probably because of this a bit closed-mindedness, European fans are more loyal and dedicated.
And
I cannot say that Americans are not. But I think it's too early for us to talk about loyalty.
That's what I wanted to say. It's too early, to compare, and we need more experience to do this.
10 years more to check if fans loyal or not.
Yeah, really. But what else did you learn from touring in the US? For instance, Rammstein is a popular German band, and they toured also in the US. And when they came back, they learned many things about themselves, because it's a completely different riding cycle. Like the distance are very, very large, and they're in a group all together since I don't know, 10 years, and we're touring around, I don't know, 3 months in a row. And they learned also about something themselves, and also how to entertain people. Is there something which you saw, or it's also on Devil Driver, that you say, hey, that's something cool, we can adapt that to our band?
I don't know. Personally, me, I try to stay aside from influences. You know, I don't like when someone influences me. You know, and my behavior on stage and whatsoever. But well, I don't know.
Anything which you learned from American shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
I have to say, I will say that we are learning every single night, and it doesn't matter where you play. Here in Germany, tomorrow in the Netherlands, or in the States. There is not, probably there wasn't anything in particular, but definitely we learned something from those people, fans, and concerts. Same way as we did tonight here in Oberhausen. So
maybe it is just like subconsciously, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
You just cannot realize what it is, but the small things are really just like stuck in your mind. So, yeah.
So yeah, we are already done with the interview. There's one last question. And the first time I asked you if you can tell us about your personal mosh pit experience, and you said you don't mosh, and you told us a nice story. But now I want to ask you from the band perspective. If you're standing on the stage and looking to the crowd, is there a specific mosh pit or mosh pit moment where you remember and said, "Dude, this was absolutely ridiculous"?
Yes, I remember when we were in Ukraine and we had our friend with us. Somewhere in western part of Ukraine, I think. I'm talking about. I forgot his name. What the fuck? Alex's good friend who lived in Denmark. Karandash. Yeah, his nickname is Pencil. So I remember when we were playing, and we were not that big. Back in the days, long time. But I remember when we were playing something very heavy and like mosh pit, like he was standing right in the center, and and the people were like splitting up, to the left, to the right, and at the very moment he was ready. He was standing like a Jesus. Yeah, and he was ready, like with peace, like peacefully ready for the crowd crushing him. Yeah, I remember that, and that was horrible for me. That was horrible.
Right before they just crashed in the middle, somebody from one of the sides actually shouted, "Karandash, you're fucked up." You're fucked up. Pencil, you're fucked up. And that moment, they just.
He was absolutely crazy, and he accepted the disaster.
Oh man.
With his nature, like
and dignity. And I have to say that this summer we have experienced several very, very absolutely overwhelming mosh pits. It was at Summer Breeze. Yeah, it wasn't really a mosh pit. It was crowd surfing, non-stop crowd surfing. Just all these 40-45 minutes we played, the people were just coming like non-stop. Yeah, and Motokultur. It was so intense that the dust. They pumped up the dust into the air. and I actually couldn't wash it out of my hair
What?
for a few days.
Yeah.
I was completely covered with that thing. Yeah.
Very dusty. And I remember, remember when we were in Romania, somewhere, I don't remember, then in the first row or whatever, like there was a fight actually during the Moshpit or yeah Bucharest, and we saw like women suffered from the Moshpit. Like some of them were like actually bleeding.
What?
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, that was crazy.
Hardcore thing, very hardcore show.
Yeah.
And it was in Finland, I think. The festival, small festival we played. There was some Moshpit too, very good one. At least I remember that the crowd reaction was awesome. Yeah, we played only one show this summer in Finland. Yeah.
What about like in Ukraine when we actually filmed the music video for Just Another? It's a like live video from the festival in Ukraine, Fine Misto, I think. Yeah, and there was firemen. They were firemen. Yeah. Yeah. So that was in the middle of summer or yeah, that was very hot, and they actually sprayed. Yeah.
People with water. And it happened right in the middle of our set, and you can actually see this in the Just Another, It was really, hardcore thing. And what I remember from that gig is that the wall of death wasn't really a wall of death; it was a circle of death because they spread like a circle and they collapsed.
I call it like sphincter of death.
Yes, of death.
Nice, man. Yeah, thank you very much for your time and for the interview. I wish you all the best with your new record, especially the tour is started now. All good for the next week. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
See you next time.
See you.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye. Cool.
Nice. Thanks a lot.
Freunde, ich hoffe, euch hat das Interview gefallen. Damit ihr keine Videos verpasst, abonniert unseren Channel. Auf unserem Kanal findet ihr noch weitere interessante Interviews mit namhaften Bands. Schaut euch auch auf unserer Facebook-Seite herum, wo wir exklusiven Content wie interessante Beiträge, Konzertfotos oder Videos uploaden. Auf unserer Webseite www.moshpitpassion.de findet ihr CD-Reviews, Konzertfotos, Konzertberichte, Interviews und vieles mehr.